It says, okay, you're on.
Hi, I'm Charlie Johnson. I'm the pastor at Shiloh United Methodist Church and Mount Olivet United Methodist Church. And this morning we're going to be in the front of the church. We're going to be collecting donations to go to the Forest United Methodist Church Food Bank. And we're asking folks to bring non-perishable food and paper items, the stuff that people are hoarding, and bring it and drop it off to share with folks who haven't been able to find any. We're going to be here from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock today, and we're going to be here next Sunday as well. The United Methodist churches in Virginia have been directed by the bishop to not hold our regular Sunday services for the next couple weeks, and so we're going to, while we can't have church services, we can still do what the church is supposed to do, and that's to help folks that are in need. And we're going to be looking out for folks. There's a lot of fear going on with the coronavirus, and I did a wedding last Saturday, and we thought about how in the midst of fear and hopelessness, people are still, this couple was still getting married, showing that it was something beyond the hopelessness, that they still had hope. And that's what we want folks to realize, that there is always hope. There is still hope. People say that they're not afraid. Well, the Bible talks about fear. And there are words in the Bible that we translate as fear that have a broader meaning than just being afraid of something. There is that fear it talks about, that terror of being afraid of something, just the bone-chilling fear. But it also talks about fear of the Lord, which is a reverential kind of fear. And it said, that uses the same things of children fearing their parents. It's a reverential kind of fear. And then there's a fear of a caution. And this is something that God gives us that a lot of times we just call common sense, is that conditions say that you need to do something, that you need to be cautious about it, that you need to be aware that something may be dangerous. And right now during this time, that is what we're doing. That's why the churches are closing. That's why businesses are being different. And we need to understand that in the midst of this, we can be cautious. We can have that caution fear, but we still don't have to be running afraid. And there's a big difference in that. When I was getting ready to go into the military, my dad told me, he said, no matter what happens, no matter where the military sends you, it's up to you whether you make it a heaven or a hell. And when I went into the service, I remembered that, but I met people that were stationed in the same place at the same time. One person said it was the worst experience of their life, and other people said it was paradise on earth. And it's all within their attitude of how they looked at it and how they saw something in the experience. And it's also applicable to all our other ways of. In the midst of this terrible time, we can make it a heaven or a hell. We can make it a really bad thing and be fearful and be disrespectful to other people. But we can also change the attitude, and we can be respectful to people. We can take care of people. We can look out for folks. We can make a difference with this opportunity that we haven't had before. There's a scene in one of the Harry Potter movies. It's at the very end, and I think it's the Goblet of Fire. And the character Hermione says, "This is going to change everything, isn't it?" And Harry Potter just kind of walks over to her, puts her hand on her shoulder and goes, "Yes." And that's kind of where we are. This experience is going to change us. It's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference in who we are and what we are. It's going to make a difference in how we react to other people, new respect we have for people that we didn't have before, an understanding that we didn't have before of how people matter. We see this our medical people who are on the front lines of this disease, but we also see people in grocery stores that are putting in extra hours stocking shelves, truck drivers that are putting in all kinds of hours to be able to deliver things for us. It changes our perspective, and everything is different after that. And when it's all over, and it will all be over, this will pass. It may pass like a kidney stone, but it will pass. And how are we going to be different? Are we going to go back to the way we were before? Or is it going to be a more positive future for us? And that's something we have to decide for ourselves. But we're here today collecting for a food bank. And we're giving you the opportunity to come here and give a portion of what you've been blessed with so you can bless somebody else. And we're going to be out in front of the church. We're going to be here from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Drop by if you want to chat for a while. Bring yourself a lawn chair, and we'll just talk loud because we're going to keep our space. But come on out. You want to pray, we can pray. If you just want to talk, we can just talk. But we just want you to know that we're here for you. If you need something, come by and tell us. We're not in this alone. And I want to remind you that when God said that where two or more you've gathered together, He's there in our midst. So if we're sitting out there in lawn chairs in the front of the church and there's two of us, then we're good. God's there. He hasn't forgotten us, and He hasn't abandoned us. There is always hope. Always hope.